Pan is generally a very male dominated role. 99% of your Rangers are going to be guys. I think also the top four bands are all led by female captains. I think that goes to show a lot of things in terms of how leadership is making a change. There's often the issue that we see free education, we start and we don't finish, or we start and something else comes in the way. And it's an ongoing cycle, especially unfortunately with the arts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of For the Most Part podcast. And clearly, we are in full smiles.
Yes, we are.
The,
We're
the
in
panorama
smiles.
season, the panorama season is has come to an end. I think that we should talk about panorama and talk about the pan community and how people are doing, and kind of just discuss the results. As I said in many episodes before, it's not about politicizing anything. I think that it's about the conversation. It's legit about how the tables have turned and how things are shaping up and what we think could be some possible outcomes next year. And again, we're not placing anybody in any particular positions. I just think that it's a conversation that we need to have. It's an observable phenomenon. A song in real scientific, again.
Yes,
It's an
yes,
observable phenomena that I think we should take note of. It's probably the one thing that is reoccurring every year, almost every year for Trinidadians and Tobagonians and people by extension in the Caribbean. So we're gonna be talking about panorama, the results, how we feeling, the performances, and then we're just gonna be looking at events that are coming up for more stuff pan that has not been around. But let's first look at Panorama 2023. Louise, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
first, I just want to say that this year, musically, I think musically the competition was tough in some respects. Some bands really they put their best foot forward.
I agree.
Some
I
bands
agree.
really put their best foot forward. Some bands came to prelims like it was a finals. And I appreciate that
Hmm.
energy. I really appreciate that energy. Let's talk about large band first, of course.
The
But
elephant
the
that's in
elephant,
the room.
it's not the elephant in the room, but
Not,
but
but
that is what
it's a
everybody
fact.
likes.
It's a fact.
That is what
Yeah.
I think the average Panorama fan goes to Panorama for large and not for any other category. But that's a different
I agree.
discussion. So BB Renegades, as we know, collected their 12th win this year, right? So
Congratulations, by the way, guys.
congratulations to them, right? And congratulations to Mr. Duvon Stewart for taking them to victory. So this means that now Renegades ties with Desperados for having the most Panorama wins to date.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I am using, this is Pan on the net. They're pretty reasonable source when it comes to Pan info, right?
Yeah.
And this is in terms of large bands, that is. So Renegades now has 12 wins, just like Desperados. And they chose a good song. I mean, when I say good, I mean, already there are a lot of feels attached to it. So it was an easy song, I think, to use as a panorama.
Fairly relatable. Yeah,
Yeah,
relatable to the population and relatable to the listener because who doesn't know tonight the black man feelings about it?
exactly.
You're naturally gonna sing it. And look, we just sang it, and that's the point. I agree with that. That the selection was a really nice song choice for the season.
It was. It
Um,
was.
and
It really
it
was.
it it I think it did its job. It swept people off their feet, and it swept the judges off their feet. And I was stunned because you know it, when you hear an arrangement and and you just sit down and you take it in and you hear all of these different ideas coming from it. I think Duvon worked his magic this time around, and I'm not saying he has not and hasn't done so previously, but I think it was a well-deserved win. You can hear the elements of Black Stallion in the arrangement, so it's not like it's a surprise like anything. We're not surprised. It was expected, and I think that hats off, hats off to Renegades on that because imagine having to pull that off for the Panorama season. And several other bands have done it in the recent Panorama as well. Small band, I'm not sure about single, but to pay homage to Black Stalin in such a big ways, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, you have to come with your A game. You have no choice. What else is on the list first?
So we know that Republic Bank Exodus came in second place. Congratulations
Mm-hmm.
to them.
And you know a clap effect.
Yeah,
I
we need a
need. I
clap
will
effect
find
on
it.
that soundboard, right?
I'll go. I'll go find. I'll go find it.
They chose a tune from an Antiguan composer, Tourist Lego. It's an old calypso, at least 30 years old, I think. And they had an
Hmm.
Antiguan drill master.
So it was well fitting. It was well
Yes,
fitting.
it was well fitting, and I must say, Exodus sounded good this season. I'm not just talking about I'm not talking about the arrangement as a whole. I'm just talking about sound wise. I think they sounded good. They were pleasing to
Yeah.
listen to. So yeah, congratulations to them first and second. Well, we know who came in third place. We know who came in
Because we
third place.
smiling.
Yes,
Because we were
yes.
smiling. We smiled. Congratulations to the Nutrient Silver
Yes,
Stars. I had a
congratulations
big
to
up for
Neutron
band
Silver Stars. And their tune of choice was Engine Room
Engine
by
Room. One, the only
OT.
one for the season, if I'm not mistaken. The only one.
I think so, you know.
We
I
could
think
double check
so.
that. I
I'm
don't
double
wanna.
checking right now.
And I mean, and consider this. And I would say I don't wanna misstate, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure if unpopular tunes. When I say unpopular, meaning the least selected song normally places high in a panorama. I don't know if that's the case. I'm sure it has, but that's something interesting to note because
Historically,
Engine
yes.
Room was the one, yeah, that's the one and only in the entire competition.
When music was not consumed as it is consumed now, and I'm inferring here,
Yeah,
back then, there was no YouTube, there was no TikTok, right?
yeah, that's true.
I want to believe that back then, the selection process, it might have been the same as it is now,
Yeah,
but considering how people consume the music, I would say a tune that a band chose would probably become more popular as a result of becoming their tune of choice.
yeah, yeah. That's a possibility. And again, guys, we just doing the thing of observing the phenomena, because we could say, for example, let's make up a song. There's a song called For the Most Part, right? And a band somewhere in the middle of the ocean decides that they're going to play the song called For the Most Part for Panorama, and they enter the competition. Chances are that song is actually going to get popular once the band plays it, even though it's not as popular upon its release. And that's a typical thing. It seems to be um, a usual occurrence, if I'm not mistaken. And we could probably double check with some of the previous Panorama lineups and see, how things played out. Um,
I feel like that would not apply to the last decade or so. I feel like that would
no, that's
apply to
fair.
a
Fair.
different time before you and I
Yeah.
knew what a pan was. Remember, we have more access to music than we have ever had in life. When I say access to music, meaning how widespread it is. You know, just
Yeah.
how
Easily accessible as well.
I mean, yes, copyright is a thing, but most of us can access YouTube for free and listen to music.
Yeah.
It's easy to find, and there's so much of it, but not
Mm-hmm.
50 years ago.
We also give a round of applause now. And it was Marcus who made this obvious to me. I don't really pay attention to Pan in such detail, right? The top three bands, if we want, I think also the top four bands are all led by female captains.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. So the
And
captain
it's mind
of
people business well, I will,
You are correct. So I just want first let's thank Marcus Ash for this information. It's actually publicly available. So the captain of BP Renegades is Miss Candice Andrews Brumant. I hope I didn't mispronounce her name. Second place, who is Republic Bank Exodus, Miss Julie Williams. Third place of Nutrient Silver Stars, Miss Chanel
Chanel
Puchet.
Bouchard.
And the fourth place band, who was Shell Invaders, their captain is also a woman, Miss Desiree Myers.
That's paramount in a lot of ways because ironically it also happens to be International Women's Week. However you all look at it, I think it was merely coincidental.
Happy belated International Women's Day to all our listeners. Keep respecting and loving the women in your community. Thank you very much.
That goes to show leadership is making a change, and I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean that in a very positive way because Japan is generally a very male dominated group. 99% of your rangers are going to be guys.
And this is not meant in a, we don't mean this in any kind of way. These are just the facts. If you look at who the arrangers are for the top four large bands, they're all men.
And what I was gonna say is I'm not sure that there really has been women topping the large band in the arranging category. They may have been topping in the leadership role, but it'd be nice to see, outside of leadership now, we step and take one or two spots in the
I
arranging.
think it will come because for small and medium, there are female arrangers who are,
That's that taking over,
yeah,
yeah.
it's always only a matter of time. It's always only
Yeah.
a matter of time before we hear about a prominent large band choosing a female arranger. It's only a matter of time.
Because I think I would like to comment and say it's partially a trend. Our good friend Natasha Joseph, she arranged for single pan and she wins the single pan category.
Uh-huh.
It's only natural somebody would say, well, Tash, come and arrange for a small band. She goes and arranges for small band. Highly possible that she tops the small band, may not win, but she may top the small band or place in the top five with small band. It then becomes an automatic trend for her to leap over into medium and large.
Uh-huh.
Generally speaking, what you want is if your results are going very well in one category, a lot of bands, I assume, will want to get those good stuff, from the top five or top four
Yes.
or top six or however, it is. They look at that and say, well, okay, this qualifies this individual for um, to be a part of our team, and therefore we could utilize their skills in such a way.
Yes, because for many large brands, it's an investment of money. This is, money spending. So they want to make sure that they get enough bang for their buck.
Fair point, fair point. Just wanna big up the captains out there, the lady captains that really handling their business, who put out their best foot for Panorama season.
Don't forget,
I
there
am
are female
one.
managers too, eh? A lot of
Yeah,
bands
me
are
ain't
led by
forgetting
women.
them.
A lot of bands. Big up.
No, but what I was gonna say is I think a lot of people came out to really show their best performance and put the best foot forward in
Correct.
terms of not just arrangement but performance, musicality, the orchestration, the costuming of the bands.
Can we just talk about costumes this year, though? Can we talk about them?
Carnival costumes
No,
or
no, no, no,
panorama
no.
costume?
Panorama uniform, sorry. That's what I meant.
All right, yeah,
That's
I
what
there
I
with you.
meant.
I there with
That's what I meant. I love how over the years, I mean, yes, there are some staples that a lot of bands like to hold on to. Like a lot of bands like that long sleeve shirt for finals. Some bands, they would never let go of that long sleeve shirt for finals. They would never let go. From and Starlifts, they really in terms of their costuming, they really held on to the Obia Man theme. I loved it. I
mm,
loved it. I loved it. I thought it looked good, like present, especially if you look at photographs. Cause I look at these things. I like if you look at photographs of the bands performing, Starlift looked wonderful in those costumes. They look wonderful in those costumes. And I noticed that Despa's really had some nice jersey designs this year, like really modern and
yeah,
sleek looking. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. So things
I
are.
want one.
I want one too.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want one
yeah. I
too.
think, as I said, I think a lot of people came out of the A game in terms of the overall, and for me, I have to comment on Nutrient Silverstar's final uniform. That was ingenious in a lot of ways. To me,
Mhm.
I yes, the prelims jersey, spoke a lot. Engine rooms, yeah, I think race car and stuff.
Mhm.
But who would have known you would have come out looking like either the driver of the race car or the flagman, the person to wave the thing at the start and the finish. That just goes to show how creativity goes a long way. So big up the whoever idea it was. Yeah,
Yeah, big up them.
keep
Big
doing
up
it.
them.
Keep doing it.